We are here. We are here. It's your boy, the coach. Welcome back to the Coaches Huddle where the field meets family. And don't look now, but we got a bye week. It's time for us to take a load off. Slow down a little bit. Kick your feet up, okay? The San Francisco 49ers are going in 9-4 into the bye week, and it's a much-needed bye. I'm sitting here flanked to my right, my guy, my right-hand man, ChunderBoi. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. This is not a position that I expected us to be in. Well, I actually did expect us to be in this situation, but after all the injuries piled up, it's hard to say 10 toes down with your preseason predictions. So I'm very, very, very excited for what the last stretch of this season could look like.
Yeah, man. I mean, and that's what we're here to talk about. I mean, obviously, we could talk about, the implications of the last 4 games that we have left in the season. That's the Titans, the Colts, the Bears, and the Seattle Seahawks. Definitely, we got a 4-game gauntlet coming up. But I'd like to just take a moment to slow down and let's talk about how we got here. Now, listen, we don't want to go back too far. I get it. All of what Mac Jones has done for the team is well documented. But to be honest with you, if we're really going to keep it 1,000, talking about Mac Jones at this stage of the season, it's a little bit outdated. You're kind of showing that you're not keeping up with the Niners, to be honest with you. And when I hear I hate to go at like fellow content creators because I am one. So, I don't want to do it. But guys, just a little bit of a PSA for those of you who do care to watch my channel. If you're a content creator, bro, you got to lay off the Mac Jones narrative. It's kind of overbaked. It's kind of overplayed. So with that said, I'd like to go from Brock on. Right? Brock starting. We're here. Let's move forward. And we got 3 games out of Brock. And each game has seen different looks from Brock. We had a first game from Brock against Arizona Cardinals, 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey dubbed it as vintage Brock. Then we had a little bit of a chasm, a dip, if you will. The 3-pick game against Carolina, throwing for, I think, 160, 190 yards, and struggled. Let's just call it what it is. Ain't no way to, you can't polish a turd, man. He struggled and didn't have one of his better games. And then we go on the road. Now, this is the thing. This is when we talk about keeping the main thing, and also keeping the same energy. Now, after the Carolina game, people were saying, and I was one of them, was saying, like, yo, this looks bad, man. You know what I mean? Some of these throws were late. Some of these picks were 100% on him. It wasn't even the fact that he threw some picks. Some balls that he threw should have been picked off. The ball was sailing. The accuracy wasn't there. He didn't look comfortable. On top of it, it didn't seem as though that Kyle had any trusted him after the second half. He kind of took the ball out of his hands. And, we're slaves to the moment, and we forecast here. That's what we do. And the forecast for Brock Purdy moving forward after the Carolina game was, hey, man, it's going to be tough sledding, right? And then we put a special, fingerprint on it. It made it unique, and in that we were playing the Cleveland Browns, right? And it was, hey, man, Purdy is going to struggle against the Browns. It's going to be inclement weather. It's going to be on the road. It's going to be against the number 1 defense in the league. They had 10 sacks the week prior. Oh my God, what are we going to do? And then Brock comes out and has not only an efficient game, but he plays within the flow of the offense. Also, lending itself to what we need to see out of this team, which is complementary football. So we've seen 3 different Brocks, if you will, right? We saw vintage Brock, Arizona, home game, born in the USA, as American as apple pie performance. Then we saw complete dumpster fire. Every reason why anybody who has criticism about Brock, stop it. Anybody who has any criticisms about Brock, this was kind of like the chef's
that was their game for it.
Chef's kiss, man.
Yeah.
It was, dude.
That was the game all the Brock haters were hoping he would have.
Bro, it was a bottom lip biting moment for everybody. It's one of those games. And then we have a game where Brock tailors off, doesn't have like a crazy game, but he keeps the offense on time, and we end up beating a very dangerous Cleveland Browns team. I keep wanting to call them Carolina. Cleveland Browns team, especially defensively. Well, mainly defensively. So I guess the biggest question is, has Brock found a new tempo, right? Has Brock found out that less is more? One of the things that Brock came out and relayed in interviews on his way back to the starting lineup was what he had learned from Mac Jones, and particularly some of the elements of Mac Jones's game that Brock Purdy had mentioned was, learning how to stay on the field, keeping the offense moving, understanding how to take what the defense gives you. Now, some of these things can be like humble brags to somebody who has like a gunslinger mentality, but it proves in real concept when you see it in the game. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that this is kind of like how Brock has calibrated things? And can we count on this moving forward, where you're not really going to be you're not going to be watching the box stats from Brock moving forward? What you're really going to be looking at is like the one column that matters, which is the W. So talk to me about how you feel about that moving forward, and especially just your opinion of what you've seen out of Brock, especially within the last game against the Cleveland Browns.
So, I mean, according to Brock, that's exactly what's happened. In an interview that he did after the Browns game, he was specifically asked about whether or not he went into that game with the mentality of, I have to protect the ball. Is that why there were so many throwaways? Because he had 6 the entire season and had 7 in one game. And and he said yes, that was part of it. And then, to the credit of the people asking the questions, there was a follow-up question about whether or not like that's something he's gonna take with him moving forward. And he also said yes, that he had in hindsight realized that he's still trying to force it too much. I don't want to paraphrase him incorrectly, so I'm not going to go too deep down this rabbit hole. But essentially, yes, he according to Brock, he has realized that less is more, exactly like you're saying, and he is going to take that with him. So now, only time will tell, because we heard him say similar things in the offseason. And early this season, that didn't seem to be the case. Arizona is just a really bad team. So you might not see a whole lot of rust just because Arizona is not that good of a team. So even if you're a little rusty, it might not show. Carolina's defense the last few weeks has been really good. They gave the Rams a hard time too. And so it may be that that he was just sort of feeling a little bit of rust against Carolina as far as some of the timing issues. Because those interceptions, in my opinion, Brock didn't play a terrible game. He played a decent game and had 3 or 4 really bad plays where he was late and the ball was not in a great place either. He just had a couple of really bad throws that almost cost him. That could have cost him a game if it had been a better team.
Let me just, all right. Can you just, I'm showing growth. Continue. Just go. Just go.
So
because you really kill me when you do this. Like,
all right, no, you said he's showing growth, so I'm going to keep going here.
yeah,
all right, I get that it bothers you that I try to add context to the
no,
entire
not context. Don't gaslight.
Right.
Don't
right.
say
I'm
context.
Gonna show some growth here. I'm going to show some growth here too, and I'm not going to go that direction. Okay, so the thing you said about Brock that I think kind of clears all this up the most is Brock is not the kind of quarterback where if you box score scout him, you're going to get the right answer, good or bad. When he's putting up, MVP caliber numbers and all that stuff, go watch the games. It's not, he wasn't being Josh Allen out there. He made some really good plays, but let's not get carried away. And the opposite is also true. Like if you go box score scout him in some of the bad games, he probably didn't play quite as bad as some of those numbers might look. So that's kind of Brock in a nutshell. You have to watch the games. At the end of the day, I think Brock is going to play high-end, efficient football. The thing I've seen the most when Brock plays, the team has a better success rate. They're better on third down. The red zone percentage is better. Like just kind of the overall operation of the offense seems to be better with Brock under center. And that's not anything away from Mac because Mac did a terrific job. But there's just for whatever reason, and this goes all the way back to when he took over from Jimmy, those numbers improved and so on and so forth. Whatever reason, the efficiency numbers and the way the offense operates just is a little bit better when Brock's under center. We gotta get rid of those negative plays, and this offense has a chance to really click.
Respectfully, I miss you, man. So I gotta mix it up with you. It's only because I miss you, brother. Before we got into this topic, I gave out a PSA, and that PSA was saying that the Mac Jones narrative was played out.
Yep.
Right? Like, we're done with it. There's no reason to bring up Mac. It was fun while it lasted.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Go home to your wife, man. All right? I'm Paulie and Goodfellas. Hey, come on, man. What are we going to do? You're not going to leave her. We're not Animale. Go home to your wife. All right. Yeah. Before you go, I got some piece of work with you and Jimmy. You can go down to Florida. I was going to see Jimmy. I was going to send Jimmy and you. Now, you know what? Now you and Jimmy can go down there. You go down there. You spend a couple of weeks down there. You come back. You go back to your wife. Don't worry. I'll talk to Karen. I know just what to say to her, especially her. So look, what I'm telling you is even when you assess Brock, and I don't even think you see this. Maybe you do, and I'm just highlighting it. But when you say it's the offense is better with Brock, with the efficiency, it's better with his third down efficiency. It's better when Brock is there juxtaposed to Mac Jones. And then you even went a little further. It's better even juxtaposed to Jimmy Garoppolo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy is on his second deal with the Niners, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would it be safe to say that Brock is officially the franchise quarterback?
Oh, for sure.
All right. So if we're saying that, and this is just a topic off the fly.
For sure.
When are we going to assess Brock Purdy solely as a franchise quarterback juxtaposed to he's better than what we've had? Because even me telling you that Mac, if I would have started this conversation off with let's do a breakdown of the Niners to the bye. You know what? The Niners wouldn't really be here if it wasn't for Mac Jones, and I'm winning on a whole 15, 20-minute thing about Mac Jones.
I got you.
So, that would burn you alive. It would be like, you would sit back and be like,
fair.
Dude.
It'd be fair and it'd be accurate.
No, but in the spirit of what I'm talking about,
you
would look at me like, all right, bro, but that was like 2 months ago.
I got
like, Brock has played 3 games now.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to look at Brock and say that Brock is better than the last time you saw him play? Brock is better than his numbers last year. Brock is the offense is moving better now that Brock is healthy and he's playing with a healthy offense juxtaposed to last year. So it's time for us to start assessing Brock
compared to Brock.
Against Brock. Gotcha. Not anymore. Even with Mac Jones, I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
We all are.
Yeah.
As soon as Mac Jones came in, what do? Brock Purdy versus Mac Jones. What does Brock do? What does Mac Jones do? What can't they do together? Who has the strengths? But the facts is that you know why Brock Purdy is having a hard time sticking as a franchise quarterback is because people don't assess Brock against Brock. Against being
a flawed
franchise guy. All right?
Yeah,
so I don't want to talk about Mac Jones.
Well, I think when a quarterback is a flawed quarterback, and there's other quarterbacks in the league, somebody like Dak Prescott, for instance, right? He's a franchise quarterback. Like, clearly he's a franchise quarterback. He's a starting caliber quarterback, but he's a flawed quarterback. He's not one of those elite guys. So you almost have to compare him to other people in order to make it clear what exactly you're trying to get at. Now, with Brock, I do agree with you that we have to get past this. It's almost kind of like we have some scars of previous quarterbacks and stuff like that. We always had to compare them to each other. And I guess the shadow of Jimmy G still looms large because of how many people were bought in totally with Jimmy G, and it turned out to be fool's gold. And so maybe that's why there's so much comparison with Brock. But I do think you're totally correct. We have to get to a point where we move past all that and start just talking about Brock and how he's doing compared to how Brock plays.
Let me ask you this. One more question. Mm-hmm. We both lived through Jimmy G and Brock, the hype, right? Mm-hmm. Even Trey, the hype, right? Yeah. We saw it all from start, right? From pin to post, start to finish. Now that you've seen it a couple of times and you've completely been through it, do you really think that the support for Brock Purdy is that much different than the support there was for Jimmy G? Or is it just exactly the same?
No, I think that's why I said that I think the shadow of Jimmy G looms large is because it's very similar. I think that that all the same arguments that people were making for Jimmy G, they're making for Brock as well. And the fact that a lot of those arguments turned out to probably be wrong when it comes to Jimmy G, it's really hard to make similar arguments and be like, yeah, but this time I'm right. But this time I know what I'm talking about. So like it kind of forces you into this pattern of having to do these other comparisons and stuff because otherwise you're just saying the same stuff you've already said and it was wrong last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, look, that's why I interjected because I saw you going down into it and it's like, dude, when are you going to assess him against himself? Right now, let's put it this way. It's easy to look at Mac Jones and say, well, look, man, I mean, what I'm saying is that it's easy to look at Brock Purdy's game versus Mac Jones and say, well, look, man, what you've done so eloquently in all of our chats on the phone is Brock Purdy is a starter and Mac Jones isn't. Basically, that's the net of it, right? That's it. There's a reason why Mac Jones is a backup, and there's a reason why Brock Purdy is a starter. And if you look at the numbers and bear it out over time, you can see why that's true. All right. Mm-hmm. So why is it a plus for you to compare what Brock Purdy is doing to a backup?
Because the information, anytime you put out the information using advanced metrics, I also try to use film in all 22, and I point to specific games where I show, why the offense is supposed to work a specific way, and it works better. So you better, worse, like that. I'm gonna stay away from that. I'm gonna try to stay away from it totally moving forward. Brock Purdy, when he's not trying to force the ball, is one of the most effective, efficient quarterbacks in football. The offense moves the ball, converts on third down, has a success rate and is by every analytical metric one of the top offenses in the league when he doesn't try to force it, especially when he doesn't try to force it on early downs.
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing with Brock is he's got to get out of his own way and stop thinking that he has to do it all on his own. And hopefully watching Mac Jones operate the offense and how they were able to win games without Mac trying to force things that don't need to be forced.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully going back and watching the film of last year, how at least 2 or 3 times last year, we lost a game because Brock's throwing interceptions on first and second down when he doesn't need to, when you can throw the ball away, and so on and so forth. I think the one thing that does get a little bit lost is there's a lot of quarterbacks in the league that in their second year, third year, so on and so forth, get like some grace. And Brock never really had that chance because he came out of the gate so hot. And there were so many people that were just elevating Brock on this pedestal, like from day one. He never really got to have a chance to have some growing pains and stuff. And I think that I hope that Brock is now getting into that part where he's in that sort of second stage of his career where he's had some success, he's had some fails, and he's really starting to understand what he needs to do within the system for it to be successful. It's not about him. It's not about having to make plays. It's about playing within the offense. If we get that Brock throughout the rest of the season, the sky's the limit.
16 for 29, 168 yards and a tutty. You're going to need more against an offense that actually shows up.
Yeah.
Cleveland's going to do more. You're not going to see a Cleveland offense every week. I do feel like this is going to have to be offensively led coming out of the stretch.
You won't see a defense like Cleveland every week either, though.
We keep saying that. Some of the best
offenses in the NFC have terrible defenses.
Let me tell you this. We keep saying that. We do. All right. Now the Rams defense is trash. I'm sorry.
They're overrated. They're overrated.
They're so over. That's the reason why I'm calling them trash. I'm overrated. I'm over trashing them. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're not trash.
Yeah.
But
they're solid, but yeah.
They're very overrated.
Yeah.
All right. But if you look at what we've done throughout the season, ChunderBoi, like we have a last place schedule for sure, but we definitely haven't had a last place defensive schedule that we've seen. I mean, dude.
No, we played some really good defense.
We played some really good defenses down the stretch, dog. Indy's defense is going to be something to see, and we still got to see Seattle at the end of the year. So as far as defenses are concerned, offensively we have to lead with this team. I don't think that we're going to luck up. Now Tennessee.
It's time for the offense to take the lead. I totally agree with you.
All right. How do you think? What are some of the things that you think would be wrinkles moving forward in the bye, particularly with the offense? What are you looking to see us change or amend or refresh coming out of the bye against Tennessee in Week 15?
Well, there's one thing I'd like to see them do, and there's one thing that I think they will do. The thing that I think they will do is they'll spend a little bit more time working on getting Ricky Pearsall open, especially over the middle. Ricky Pearsall came out, was really good early in the season, but he's been getting bracketed. He's even seeing some double coverage and stuff like that since he's been back. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to spend some time in the lab figuring out different creative ways to get him more involved in the offense. I think the offense is better when he kind of gets going a little bit. What I would love to see them do is get Jordan Watkins into this offense a little bit, give him at least a package, get him on the field, and let's start to stretch this thing out a little bit and at least make defenses respect that we have somebody that can beat them over the top. I'd love to see that element added to the offense in the bye week.
I've already brought this up, but I'm going to bring it up again. I think the run game, it's huge.
Okay, yeah.
We've got to figure out a way how to spell Christian McCaffrey. It's really big. And one of the reasons why is because I do believe that we're going to play teams as the cream rises because the season is getting, we have literally a month left in the season. right? So as we get towards the end in the playoffs, the cream is going to rise to the top. And we're prone to see, like you said, this is so funny, but you just said it in the last topic, is we're prone to see better offenses moving forward, which means that our defense is going to be a little bit more vulnerable moving forward, especially in the postseason. We're going to need our offense not to outscore people. We're going to need our offense to control games. Okay.
To protect our young defense.
To protect the defense. And that's a whole different endeavor. It's not about turning the offense into the 4-lane highway and just going balls to walls, pedal to metal, and seeing whatever you can get, taking as many points as you can get. If we can strike fast and get somebody off the field quickly, so be it. No, we don't need to be in shootouts at all. We're not equipped for it.
I agree.
And one of the things that we have to do offensively is we've got to be time of possession merchants. Not to say that we haven't already been doing that throughout the season, which we have, but it's really got to be kind of what we lead games with. Listen, our offense can get the jab all day, right? And I've seen championship fights won with a jab.
That's right. That's right.
With a jab. That's it. You really think you think you need the straight, the hook, the uppercut? You think you need all of, man?
Just got to wait for that opening.
If you have a strong jab, you can whoop somebody's ass, man.
Yep.
Because it's just fundamentals. It's the test that I make you pass before we move on to anything else. And if you can't pass this test, we gonna keep doing it. All right. You violate, I'm gonna demonstrate every time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the analogy that I'm choosing to lean on with our offense, is that, man, we got to have a strong jab. All right. And what does that mean? That means that with all of the names that we have, the firepower that we have, sans Christian McCaffrey, we can get 4 yards a pop. We can get 5 yards a pop. We can get 6 to 7 yards a pop.
We have to execute.
We have to execute. All right. We've got to start ingratiating more people into the run game outside of Christian McCaffrey. It can't just be Brian Robinson Jr. We got to figure out how to get Isaac Garendo going or Jordan James going. All right. But offensively, I said this earlier on into the season, we're the Minutemen. We ain't the Redcoats. All right. So we got to fight in the bush. All right. Behind trees, surprising people. All right. So offensively, I'm really looking for them to kind of get all of these nicks and bruises together, get Christian's legs fresh as they can be.
Yes.
And honestly, try to preserve him for basically the next 2 months. Because that's what it's going to take.
I would love to see them really ramp up Brian Robertson's usage down the stretch in an effort to conserve Christian for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He's had so many touches this year, and he has been a revelation as far as his ability to stay productive, even though, I'm sorry, he's clearly lost some burst. He never had like crazy top end speed, but he always had terrific explosiveness. He was always an explosive athlete. He is not the same explosive athlete that he was 2 years ago. He's just not. The fact that he's been as effective as he has been and is leading the league, I think as of this last week, wasn't he leading the league in like yards and receptions or something like that? Like not amongst running backs, but like in the league.
Yeah.
So for him to be so effective, it's been incredible. We need to make sure that he stays healthy for the playoffs. We're going to need that dynamic. The thing that Christian McCaffrey does more than anything else, he forces defenses. If he's on the field, he forces the defense to play certain things certain ways. He allows Kyle Shanahan to do what he does best, which is to violate the rules of the defense. Because he uses Christian McCaffrey to force you into certain defensive sets or so on and so forth. That's going to be critical in the playoffs, I think.
Yeah. And for me, if Christian goes down, I just don't know. I don't know what Kyle would do without Christian, right? And that kind of.
Same as JP Mason had, maybe something similar.
What do you mean?
So the way that he used JP Mason, but instead it's Brian Robinson. They don't
Brian,
throw it to him out of the backfield or anything like that.
I hate
they
to
just
put that
hammer it.
Brian Robinson Jr. is not JP Mason.
You think?
I love him. God love him. But
I like JP Mason so much.
JP Mason is a whole different animal.
I hate that he's not on the team anymore.
It's the truth, man.
I love JP Mason.
I mean, and that leads me to my next topic, which is who deserves more credit? Who deserves the most credit? Now, we've talked about the Niners being 9-4. All right. We practically control our own division. We control our own destiny moving forward. We've talked about it. The injuries, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, Brandon Ayuk not even playing, Brock Purdy not being around, letting the offense, completely opening up the offense with Mac Jones, averaging over 40 attempts a game. The offensive line being in and out, the whole left guard situation. No Brandon Ayuk. We talked about George Kittle being down
5 games. Yeah.
Yeah, Kittle's been down for 5 games. Jawan Jennings wasn't healthy throughout the entire offseason. We can go on and on.
All 3 coaches have a claim to this. It's really who we want to make an argument for.
So we're gonna split it up 3 ways.
I think
offense,
you and I are
defense,
probably
and
going to say
special
the same
teams.
guy, though.
I don't know. Offense, defense, and special teams. I'm gonna give my guy. You give your guy. Who deserves more credit? Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh, or Brent Boyer? For me,
who are you going to pick?
Fuck.
Who you got?
It's hard, man.
It's hard. Because you can make an argument for all 3 of these guys.
I don't know so much about Boyer. You could make a strong argument for Boyer. Coach Boyer's done a phenomenal job.
That's who I'm going with.
You're going with Boyer?
That's the argument I'm going to try to make.
All right, well, you've already let the cat out the bag, so I got to choose somebody now. I'm going with Saleh.
Okay.
Over Kyle.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a go. There's something where
Shocker, you didn't pick Kyle. I'm kidding.
No, I know. But wait a minute now. Just grant me some clemency.
Yeah. It's honest. Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, you and I did a show where I was full-throated about why Kyle deserves to be coach of the year and what he's been doing.
Yep.
And juxtaposed to Robert Saleh. And I'm going to get into that, right? Yeah. But I'm going to tell you why I picked Saleh. But obviously, you picking Coach Boyer, go for it. I'd love to hear why you think Coach Boyer deserves. First? Yeah. Oh, you want me to go? I mean, you're taking the toughest one of them all. It's your show. I'll go first if you want me to.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay.
See if I can maybe counter.
Okay. So obviously, the biggest thing that you want to do for the sexy pick with Robert Saleh is just talk about what he's done with the defense juxtaposed to what the defense was last year, right? And it's really easy to look at what Coach Saleh has done for this defense, where they are now, what they're playing with, and how he's doing things with the defense to be able to get the most out of them. But for me, why I was on the Kyle side of things, as far as the coach that deserves the most credit, is because being a head coach is a whole different ball game from being a coordinator.
Yeah.
No matter how good of a coordinator you are, right? And a lot of the infrastructure and the platform that Coach Saleh is able to lean on in order for him to actually coach and do the best that he can do is because of the atmosphere that Coach Shanahan has created for him. On top of that, you have to understand that I know that Kyle doesn't seem as though that he has a lot of bedside manner with the defense when we're looking at them on games, but Kyle has been very granular into the defense on this team, not only as far as making sure that the right players are on this team, but downright picking the scheme on the defense that he wants to be ran, picking the defensive game plan for certain coaches that were not here anymore. But what's my boy who left?
Last year, Sorensen?
Nah,
Wilkes?
Wilkes. Yeah, he did the game plan for the Super Bowl, and that was something that that's a sneaky get that people don't understand, that people who don't like Kyle don't realize, is that while you're talking about how bad the offense was, and you can say, oh, but the defense held the Chiefs to 22 points without Dre Greenlaw and blah, 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 blah. But you're still forgetting the fact that Kyle is the one who did the defensive game plan for that game.
That's right. So
either way, you know what I'm saying? You can't challenge the man on actually knowing the game. Now, I've taken enough time to talk about why I chose Kyle before. However,
why are you taking Saleh today?
However, the reason why I'm leaning with Saleh is that the proof of concept is right in front of you. Kyle is very beholden to his toys. All right. Kyle needs certain mechanisms around him for him to be able to perform at a certain level, and not necessarily at a certain level, but in order for him to adapt, move on from certain things, have trust, put certain players on the field, all of these things need to kind of hit this litmus of checklist that Kyle has in order for you to not only perform for him, but in some cases, make it to the damn field. And I hate it for Kyle, but it hurts him. And one of the reasons why I'm leaning into the Coach Saleh side of things is that there is about, out of everything that Coach Saleh has done, from putting his name on the rookies that he wanted here, the scheme that he wants, the late guys that he's got playing instead of the injured guys, the young guys that are still playing beyond what they were supposed to be giving us this year. All of that amounts to 80%. The rest of the 20% is him being able to let go and let God. Let the players play. Let them go out there and do what they have to do. All right. There's an element of this that
if they have to.
I can't do it for you, kid.
That's right.
I'm going to get you as prepared as possible. But at the end of the day, when you get on the field, you got to make it happen. Where is the Jair Brown story on offense?
That's a good point.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a great point.
You see what I'm saying? And with Kyle's SOP, and God love him, but this is my issue with him. In Kyle's SOP, there's no such thing as a Jair Brown story this season, because that dude ain't seeing the field no more.
Yeah.
Those are the facts.
It's lost. Yep.
It's done. All right.
Until he's forced to put you back in a situation to earn it back.
Where's the young guy that steps in to save Kyle's bacon and plays beyond his years and plays beyond what he has? Where's that guy?
Brock Purdy.
Where's the rookie? Shut up. Where's the rookie? Where's the Alfred Collins that came in and was a sum of all parts? He was disjointed, came in injured, didn't necessarily have the best camp, was out of shape, and look at what he's blossomed into. Look at what has happened because Coach Saleh has stuck with him, has played him, put him through. You don't have the success and the failures of this defense if Coach Saleh simply, you got to run what you brung. At the end of the day, you know what? We're in content creation. I tell this to you all the time, Damon. How many times I tell you, yo, you can prepare all you want. You can research all you want. You can get all of the charts, everything, have all of your screens all over the place. You can do all of that shit. At the end of the day, you got to press record. You got to get on the camera and you got to perform, dog. You got to be able to react. It's got to happen in the now. You got to build that callus. You have to exercise that muscle. You have to learn how to adapt. All right. And That's what I'm seeing in spades from Coach Saleh. Now, is that rubbing off on Kyle throughout the season? You damn sure it is. You damn right it is. Look at what we've been seeing with the offense with Mac Jones. Look at the emergence of Brian Robinson Jr. with CMC on the field. Look at what we've seen with Jake Thomas. But these guys have had to be played.
Yeah.
You know? So for me, I feel like Coach Saleh gets the most credit because Coach Saleh not only is standing tall with a unit that has lost 2 Christian McCaffreys, all right, and a Nick Bosa and a Fred Warner. What would this offense do if they lost a Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, it'd be like them losing McCaffrey and Kittle.
Come on, it'd be a whole different offense completely. Right. And I tell you one thing, we wouldn't see Kyle dialing it up to push the ball down the field and be aggressive. What would we be seeing? We'd be seeing a palms up, woe is me, excuse for an offense. We can't do it this much because we don't have the guys. We saw it last year. When we don't have the guys, the offense gets super slow, super pedestrian. Kyle is trying to save a lot of things. Number 1, the game. Number 2, his job. Come on. Yeah, we already know.
Be honest, yeah.
We know what we're looking at.
Yep.
Dude, you're turning it down because you don't want to look bad.
Yeah.
And that's disrespectful to the game.
Yep.
You know, and when you see that, and then you look at Robert Saleh, who comes out losing a Fred Warner, and then they come out finding a way how to create pressure with what they got, you got to respect that. You have to respect that.
So the reason that I would go Boyer is twofold. One, he has helped improve the offense and the defense in the starting field position that this team has had to deal with. He has given the defense long fields, and he has given the offense short fields consistently for a while now. There was a little bit early in the season where they were kind of getting it together. But over the last 4, 5, 6 games, even some of the losses, the 49ers consistently have better field position than their opponent. If you include the fact that they changed out the long snapper, changed out the punter, changed out the kicker, changed out the guy who's catching the ball on punt return, kick return. They changed out every facet of special teams, revamped the entire thing from scratch with guys who weren't even on the team last year. And there's been more progress from the beginning of the season till now on the special team side of the ball than we have seen on the offensive side or the defensive side. And not only has the special teams continued to progress more and progressed faster than the other 2 sides of the ball, but the special teams over the last couple of weeks has turned into a legitimate weapon. We have won games that would have been much tighter. We have won games where we might have been in a situation to give up a game. Brock Purdy's 3 interceptions might bite you in the butt bad because people talk about the defense doing such a good job, but it was also special teams standing up to help out the offense as well by giving them some short fields in that game that allowed them to overcome some of the turnovers, so on and so forth. So I think that the reason Brant Boyer has to get so much credit is all of those things, but then there's one factor, and this is a personal thing for me, why I'm choosing Brant Boyer. The 49ers special teams has been so bad for so long. Whether Kyle Shanahan was the coach, before Kyle Shanahan was the coach, different defensive coordinators, we've had different special teams coordinators. It doesn't matter. The special teams have been terrible. We haven't had an actual return for a touchdown since Ted Ginn. So Brant Boyer coming in and taking over a side of the ball that has been awful through multiple regimes. It has progressed faster, and it has helped both of the other 2 elements of the game more than those elements have helped him. So that's why I would pick. I totally understand everything you're saying with Saleh, and you're totally right. And probably the most impressive thing with Saleh is how many rookies he's playing. That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate metric for a coach. Can you take young guys and just get better and get better? Alfred Collins does not get talked about enough. The progress he has made. I still remember when we drafted him, you were not a fan. He's made a fan out of you. He's made a fan out. You're muted. You're muted.
Right. Yeah. And for all of the reasons why I thought he wasn't going to be a good fit, those are the things that Coach Saleh has worked on with him. I mean, that's real scouting, man. That's real coaching.
Yes.
To be able to look at a guy, see his issues, and get into the fabric of like the context of who he is as a player and saying, oh, he's just lazy. Oh, okay, we can work on that. Get him. You know what I mean? Like, he can do it. He just, okay. Yeah, go get him. I'll get him. So, I mean, I've been thoroughly pleased with what they've done. Also, one thing, I don't know, forgive me if I wasn't paying attention, but one of the biggest reasons why I'm with you on the Coach Boyer selection is Eddie Pinheiro. You know, that's
identifying
that's big, man.
We've won games because of that decision.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, back-to-back games. You look at the Cleveland game and the Arizona game. If it wasn't for the the Panthers
Cleveland
game.
Was
sorry,
gay. Yeah.
The returns by Sky Moore is what I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Is that special teams has been huge. I mean, even starting out the Arizona game, first opening drive started off at the 1 yard line. So special teams has been huge. It's definitely something that has been able to carry us throughout games. And as far as complementary football is concerned, being able to control time of possession and field position has been huge for us. You know, that's why Morstead has been really good for us punting as well. So, hey, it's not a sexy topic, but I get it.
We got to give them all a little bit of love. This team has no business being 9-4 and in the hunt for the top of the NFC moving forward.
Okay, so let's move into the last topic of the show. Before the season started, John Lynch had already said that we were going to get banged around. It was going to be tough sledding for us early in the season. Kyle had went as far as to say that by week 12, we're going to look like a completely different team. So hold your horses. Don't be alarmed on what you see now. But by week 12, we're going to be different. Well, it's week 14. Was Kyle right? And juxtaposed to what we were in the first quarter of the season, that would be Seattle, New Orleans, Arizona, and Jacksonville. Are we a different team now, and in what ways?
I think, are we a different team than what we were at the beginning of this season? I don't think so. I think that we have just solidified. We've just been executing better. We've gotten just a little better each week. We've executed a little bit better. A few less penalties, one less drop. A return on a special teams. We've started just doing the mundane things a little bit more effectively week in and week out. And that's why we're in a position we're in. So many of the teams that we've beat, it's not because we went out there and beat them. It's because they beat themselves and we didn't beat ourselves.
That makes us, that's like kissing your sister, man. There is no pleasure in what you just said, man.
No, there's not. But we've had several games this year where we've just executed our game plan. The other team made some mistakes. It's not like we're getting a bunch of turnovers all year. We just started getting turnovers 2-3 weeks ago. And it's not like we've been getting these big explosive plays. We just had the first 20-yard run 2 weeks ago. For the first 9 weeks of the season, we're not getting explosives. We're not getting turnovers. We're not doing anything to just take it to the other team. What we did is we out-executed them for 4 quarters. We had perseverance. We kept playing. We played harder for longer than the teams that we were playing against, and that's why we're at 9-4. If we take that into the playoffs, and add a little bit of explosiveness, if we add a few turnovers at critical moments, there's no telling what this team can accomplish this year. Do you think that there's a big difference between now and the beginning of the season?
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
Talk to me about it. What do you think is the biggest difference?
Well, the biggest difference right now is we have our starting quarterback. Hello.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's one. Two, I believe that another strong difference between the beginning of the season versus now is that we actually have a running game. Dude, we were not doing anything
at
on
all.
The ground. It
was bad.
It was bad, bruh.
3.1. Ugh. It was bad.
And it's not even really that crazy now, but at least we can lean on it a little bit.
The Kittle effect, baby.
Come on, man. George Kittle being back completely changed us being able to run the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't know, man. Turnovers. It's something that we were not being able to do. Jair Brown getting 2 picks in the last game. It's something that's big for us. I feel as though that we've always been this year. We've always been a complete team, but I do feel like we're getting healthier. We were some of our parts early. It was bad, especially on offense. But I think that going into week 13, I believe that we have a stronger identity about ourselves, not necessarily because of what we've done. I get it. I don't want to go off the rails and try to act like we have this first place schedule and we just been world beaters. However, so I see where you're coming from, and I want to respect that. However, shouldn't we be a little bit more confident in where we are right now, being as though that the rest of the field hasn't really shown itself to be anything? Like the rest of the NFL is still, it's wide open. Nobody's really asserted themselves. Would you agree with that?
AFC or NFC?
It's not your father's AFC anymore.
It's not.
All right. You can't, it's not just Mahomes, Burrow,
Allen,
and Lamar. Nah, that ain't it. All right. Nope. You got Drake May over there doing things. It's getting weird over there. The Colts are there, but they're kind of falling off of a cliff. You know, you don't know what's going on over there. So for me, I feel as though that in week 12, well, week 13, rather, moving into the bye, I feel like the Niners are a little bit more confident about where we stand than we were earlier in the year because we can make a move on an inexperienced team.
Yeah.
Don't look now, but as the season goes on and the Niners just hold serve, we could be one of the healthier teams in the NFL.
That's right.
It's the truth. The way you look at it.
It could really flip-flop. You can't get back the guys on IR, but
yeah, we can't get those guys back.
5 or 6 weeks of the same guys playing together. That's a great point, Coach.
There's something to be said about us getting those injuries out of the way early, to be real with you.
Some
right?
Continuity going into the playoffs.
Just being real with you, bro. I'd much rather have if I gotta lose George Kittle, lose him now early, so we can get him back and get him going. So
that's right.
I don't know, man. Were they right? I'm gonna say yes. And one reason why, there's only one reason that I feel like is the dagger to it all. Did you expect the Niners to be 9-4? If you saw where we were at the beginning of the season, and then all of a sudden I told you, all right, this is the roster at the beginning of the season. This is what Kyle has said. We're going to look like a different team in week 12. These are the injuries that have happened thus far. This is who we've lost, and this is who's playing. Give me the record. Would you have picked 9-4?
If I'd have known this many injuries, no. Because I did think that we would have this kind of a season as far as our record. But
right.
And I did anticipate some injuries. I did not anticipate 5 of our 6 best players missing at the half of the season or more. Like
on top of it, if you really want to talk about injuries, I have to add this as well. If we started the first year, if we started the beginning of the year, and Kyle said, hey, man, we've got to make, we're going to look different in week 12. And then I told you about all of these injuries. And I told you Brandon Ayuk had still not opened his practice window.
Yeah.
Would you have said the Niners were 9-4 going into the bye?
Yeah, you'd be a fool to expect him to even have a winning record.
Come on. So for me, he was right. He was right, because I wouldn't have called 9-4 coming into the bye.
It's a different team in a way that we maybe didn't expect when he said that, or it's a different team from a different perspective. But it's definitely a different team than what we had at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt about that. If you just take it spot by spot, we thought that CJ West was going to be like the rookie that was going to be the standout on the defensive line. Turned out it's actually Alfred Collins by week 12. We thought that our defensive line was going to shape up to actually pretty good. So many injuries and stuff. We have what? Cleveland Farrell, and we have guys that weren't even on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go out and get guys, left and right. The roster is nothing like what we thought we'd see playing at this point.
I agree with you. So, yeah, for me, I think that they were talking about the continuity of the team coming together. And if you got a fly on the wall perspective from them, first of all, they're taking the 9-4, right? Yeah. But if you kind of had a fly on the wall perspective against them and you kind of put some truth serum, they tell you there's no way in hell they thought they'd be 9-4 with these things. When Kyle said we're going to be a different team, That's
not what he meant.
He didn't mean this.
No.
Losing Nick Bosa, losing Fred Warner, voiding Brandon Ayuk.
He was technically correct, but this is not what he meant.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Brandon Ayuk got voided in June.
Oh, that's an interesting piece to this.
Ain't that crazy? So he said that. Man, he said that already knowing that Brandon Ayuk's money was voided and was like, we're going to be a different.
He also knew that wide receiver room was going to be very different. Yeah. Titans is definitely I don't think the 49ers are in a position to overlook anybody, and they have too many young players to overlook anybody. A trap game really doesn't exist for teams that are playing this many young players because they don't know any better. They don't know what they don't know yet.
Hey, man, let's get some super chats out of the way. Gammon Brown, my guy, Brock needs third down percentage in red zone offense. We talk about that in the chat all the time, Gammon. Too Much Sauce 33. Has Jed York ultimately grown as an owner?
Some.
In what way?
Get out of the way and cut the checks. Now he's regressed in that way in the last 18 months, but I do think so. Especially look at his coaching hires early on. So I think he has some, but I don't really.
We love you, Jed. Too Much Sauce 33. If the 49ers make it to the Super Bowl this year, would you potentially host an IRL game stream in the Bay? I imagine you can get a lot of us coach fans to pay money for tickets. We'll pay for flights too. Dog, let me tell you something right now. Speaking of this, I just set up something with Playback. All right. So if you guys are familiar with Playback is a social media platform that specializes in live game recaps, right? Being able to call the games live. I have set up an account with Playback. I sat down with one of their sales reps. They walked me through everything. I've already got my monetization set up. I'm going to do my first stream from Playback doing the NFL Red Zone tomorrow at 1:00. So we're going to start taking the live watch shows. And it's, first of all, I appreciate all of the support that I get on the platform, regardless. However, the live watch shows are something that kind of have moved into like a crown jewel of the platform. And
we're going to do, bro.
We're going to do it a lot better.
Good.
Thank you, son. Thank you.
I love them, dude.
We're going to try to push them out, in IRL, yes. My boy Manhattan John, he had an opportunity for me. We were supposed to do something in New York this year, but I've got a new house, and there's no way in the world that I could do anything with just making a commitment like this. But that is the next step. I'm already starting on playback, but the next step is I'm going to start doing these things at bars. We're going to try to start holding these things in real life so we can really cut up and have a good time. So I'm glad that you brought this up. That's a part of the evil plan. But first, we got to just start getting off YouTube. So we got to start going on other platforms, and playback is one of them. So guys, if you get on playback, look up the Coaches Huddle. I'll put a link in the description of the next live that I have. It's already on my platform, but that's where I'm going to be doing a lot of the live watch shows, because obviously if you're familiar with playback, they don't have it now, but they're going to be able to start showing games. So imagine, guys, if I can start doing live watch shows with the game on, right? And then we can just simulcast to YouTube, Twitter, wherever we need to go, and we'll get that going. But for now, the biggest thing that you need to pay attention to when it comes to playback is that if you find the Coaches Huddle on playback.tv right now, you can get on, and what we have now is we have a live watch show party. So you guys can come on and I can call you up and we can actually speak to one another and have kind of like a call-in show deal during the game. So guys, I want to really work on this. It's a big part of the platform of where the direction of the show is going, and stay tuned. So thank you. I'm glad I got that out because I really wanted to talk about that. It's going to be fire. Thank you, bro. Gammon 9898. What is our record against 500 teams? All right. The record against the 49ers record versus 500 teams in the 2025 season, we're 3-4. The 49ers have faced 7 teams, had first 7 games against teams with winning records, 500 or better this season, posting a 3-4 record for a 4.29 winning percentage. Wins against the winning teams, the 3 wins. We beat the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Panthers. The Seahawks are 9-3, the Rams are 9-3, and the Panthers are 7-6. Losses against winning teams. Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 8-4, we lost. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 7-5, we lost. Houston Texans, 7-5, we lost. And also, we lost to the Rams as well, who are 9-3. So that's where we are right now with teams that we placed at 500. Lastly, Gammon Brown 9898, record prediction to end the regular season. I think we need 2 wins. I don't think 10 does it. I believe that we probably split. I would love to split the 4 with 2 wins and then split the NFC with at least 1 win. So I'm going with 11-6.
I'm staying 10 toes down, my guy. I want my lawnmower.
Oh,
we're gonna run the table.
Oh, yo, I got a bet.
Just so you know, right now, Vegas agrees with me. We are favored in all 4 of the last 4 games.
So you think that we're going to go 13-4?
I do.
I got to buy you a fucking lawnmower, man. If
yes,
we go
sir.
13-4.
And Gammon's got to come mow my lawn. By the way, Gammon, I got a big-ass lawn.
Jesus fucking Christ. We need at least 2 games, man. I'm sorry, guys. It's real life bets going on. I'm not buying you no damn zero turn, bro. Fuck that, man. All right. Hey, let's get out of here, bro. Too much of our real life is seeping out.
Let me ask you one question before we get off here.
What's up?
So one of the comments I made right at the beginning of the season, it may have even been before the season started, was every year, this is revealing a little bit of our private chat, but every year the 49er fan base is upset about the 49ers not doing enough on the offensive line. And I made the comment, we say this every year, and every year the offensive line is fine. Do you think the offensive line is fine, or do you still think we have some serious holes on the offensive line? I just want to get your thoughts as we're in the bye week. You're the guy for offensive line, and so what do you think our offensive line? How are we doing so far to this point of the season?
Well, this is such a big conversation.
We can touch more on it on our, maybe go on Tuesday again or something. But I just wanted to get
we're
a
not
quick
bad,
thought.
and I don't want to.
What's your knee jerk reaction? What's the first thing that pops in your head when I ask that question?
We're below average.
Okay,
that's the first thing that comes up.
Okay,
we're below average. We can't run what we want when we want to run it.
That's a great point.
That's for me. That's offensive line.
Yeah.
Like all right. So look, offensive line is CIA with the offensive line. All right. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. All right.
Okay.
And for me, the integrity and the availability side of our offensive line kills me. All right. And what I mean by that is the integrity, meaning that can I rely on the same 5 guys? Okay. All right. If I say that we're going to run inside zone on the 30 on the Seahawks side of the field, can we run inside zone on the 30 on our side of the field? Okay. Can we run in the red zone? Can we run when it's snowing outside? Can we run when we're tired? Can we run when we got to close a game out? Can we run when we need to slow a game down? Can we run when the passing game isn't working? Like, is it what we do? And it's just not. And I see a lot of it's not excuses, because when you're calling the game, you don't want to use your guys up. To be real, you know exactly what they can and can't do. Or if you're a good coach, you should know, right? And
that's right.
When I see what Kyle does with the run game, it's not even necessarily like, oh, we can't do this, so I don't want to call this. I know that Kyle knows that, okay, I can run the ball hard like 12 times with these dudes today. That's it. Because if I start running the ball hard 15 times, guess what? Somebody's going to give up a sack when I need him to pass block. You know what I'm saying? So like, I got so much energy out of this group. I can't just Kyle can't do with the offensive line what he does with Christian, where it's like set it and forget it. Like, run what I need you to run. All right, just be there. We're not there, and he's been burned because of it. So, I get it. Getting an offensive line is an investment. It's not something that you halfway do. Either you get good offensive linemen or you don't. And I understand that they feel like that they feel like they have a SOP, like we know how to get our type of guy. But I don't know, man.
They feel like they can get production without over investing in the position.
Yeah, we're like mechanics buying cars when we get offensive linemen.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We're like, whatever profession you can think about that guy going to go get his own merchandise in what he's a professional at. And that's the energy that we give when we go to get offensive linemen. Like, we're not paying top dollar. Like, we know what this stuff, we know what it takes to really make this stuff. We're not going in there and paying top dollar, which is like, sometimes that could be a really good thing because you know the worth and you know the value of things. And then sometimes that could be a bad thing because you're skimping when you really should be going for top shelf stuff. So it's a double-edged sword, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's I'm curious to see how it plays out the rest of the year.
Yeah. We'll see. But hey, what do you got? What do you got for the rest of the game?
Well, I'm finally getting switched over, thanks to you, to a new streaming, trying to work out a new streaming setup. So hopefully I'll get back to doing some shows here very soon this week. I'm excited to keep putting out more content. It's been several weeks now. So,
hey, man, we're going to see what this thing does, man. I'm going to see. I got to get on playback to see how we're going to do this whole stream from my setup tonight, too. So it's going to be a wild one. But, hey, man, we got one more from Gammon. New metric says Colton is top offensive tackle. You just had to put that there. Do I agree?
Of course not.
If you have to ask, you already know the answer.
He deserves more love than he gets because he's a pretty consistent offensive tackle. He's not even a top 5 offensive tackle. Like, I get that the metrics like him, but watch the games.
PFF be all over the place, man. Look, this is the coach signing off. Stay low and keep your feet moving. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's going to be red zone, so it's not going to be like a 100%
so much fun,
game. We'll see.
It's going to be so much fun.
I'm a little nervous. As you can see, I'm kind of talking it down, but we'll see. This is the coach signing off. I'll holler at you guys. Stay low and keep your feet moving. Peace.